body has designed to resist an infinite number of changes and attacks brought about by its environment. The secret of good health lies in successful adjustment to change stresses on the body. Hello everyone, hope you all are in pink of your health. As we had promised to make you meet new people while sitting at home, we are back at again with another episode of Kids Life. Balance is required to deal and heal life. To enlighten her views on this topic, we have with us Dr. Namita Sharma, Principal of Queens Valley School. She is a dynamic administrator and head of school with over 24 years of teaching experience and 14 years of administrative experience in senior secondary schools of New Delhi and Haryana. A strategic planner with expertise in social science and English. She has participated in various school programs and trainings. Also, she has performed the responsibility as Center Superintendent for conduct of CBSE board examination and evaluation. Welcome, Dr. Namita.
Hi, everybody. I really hope that, as Nishtha said, that we are all in the pink of our health, that we really are in the best of our health. Because this COVID scenario has taught almost all of us so much, and it has made us all stop, ponder, and think what kind of a life we are leading. It did the same with me also. I pondered over the entire academic scenario, over the entire year, and I was forced to think about the concept of balance. And it was that balance that I found was missing, or was the real culprit all around, may it be for the COVID, or may it be for any kind of a disaster. So I thought of sharing my views with you people so that we can also sit back and think that do we really have balance in our lives? Because balance is one scenario. You may call it discipline, you may call it neutralizing life. It is basically a state of neutralizing, not going towards the two extremes. Let it be the total negatives, or let it be an extreme of indulging into any kind of an activity. And that is what we humans have been doing over the past few decades. And the reactions of our environment, of our nature, and everything are there in front of us. 2020, supposedly a zero year in all of our lives, especially in the lives of our children. It is a very sad scenario, but again, if it teaches us balance, if it teaches us how we can bring ourselves to a neutral state, to a state wherein we are able to take control of our lives at all levels. Then the question that generally comes to our mind is that for us adults, is it too late to start with balancing our lives? It is never too late. Let it be a child, let it be an adult, let it be an old person. Anytime, anywhere, we can start working on the balance. Because we are all into a state of evolution, may it be in our old age, may it be in our youth, or may it be as children. We are evolving, we are changing, there are patterns which are changing, and hence a balance is a prerequisite. Other than this, I personally feel that how we human beings are responsible for maintaining this kind of a balance, because out of the entire creation, if we see around us, Lord God created human beings as the top of the creation, at the top of this ladder. Because if we see the composition of all the species, of our environment, of everything in our nature, we are amongst the superior most creations of this, or by the creator. And that is why human being is the top of the creation, because we have all the 5 elements mixed in us. And the most important element is intellect. We call it Vivek, we may call it ether, we may call it the sky element, we may call it the logic, which is generally not there, or supposedly not there with the animals. So as topmost creation of this universe, of the Almighty, of the Creator, we need to have gained strength from our intellect. But sadly, what we did was that it has now become a weakness for us, because somewhere along the line we lost the balance. We can see the reactions of our nature in the form of that lost balance. The reaction is, you see disasters all around, disasters which are going beyond our control. But then when we start checking upon this aspect of balance, we would examine it at two levels. One at the level of the physical and one at the level of the mind. When I say physical, or maybe by physical, I do not just mean the body. It is, first of all, the environment that surrounds us. That is, whatever is around us, that needs to be balanced. Now, when we examine the environment, the most important thing in the environment is our connect with our nature, with Mother Earth, with different elements of Mother Earth. Next is next environment is the dear environment, that is our home environment. Next environment is the school environment for us students. Next is the environment which is created in our society, within our social circle, with our family, with our friends. So I think you would all agree that it is somewhere that imbalance which is creating almost everything around us. Even, yes, you wanted to say something, Nishtha?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you in between. Would like to introduce our other guest also. We also have with us Mr. Shishir Meglani, co-founder of Kidspreneur. Shishir is a senior entrepreneur, technology prominent, who believes technology will touch our lives in future. He has executed some of challenging technology solutions for government and enterprise alike. He has a vision to transform the education sector in ways not thought before, and Kidspreneur is just a start for him. Welcome, Shishir.
Thank you, Nishtha, for the welcome, and very welcome, Namita Sharma ji. And
Thank
I think
you so much.
we are talking about a very apt scenario in a very apt situation as well. And COVID is such a once in a lifetime setup, probably I would say, in many of our lives, that we will definitely be looking forward to seek this balance. And this would be a good conversation to have with you here. Welcome again.
Thank you so much, Shishir. And yes, so I think Shishir also agrees that yes, balance is one thing which is a prerequisite today in our lives. And that is how we would be able to solve most of our problems. Yes.
Absolutely, ma'am. And because this COVID situation, a lot of us are stuck within the house. And I mean, we have tried to know each other in a different light now, because most of the time we have been staying and looking each other, face to face, and trying to see how we gel. Because usually fathers are out and mothers are working around or doing some other course. So I'll start with my first question, and that will be a very good question for people to face to. Now, in this COVID situation where parents and students, especially family with kids, they are stuck within their home and have nothing but themselves to talk to. How do you think is how important is balance there, both for as a parent and as a child as well, to tackle this situation, and how well they can tackle it?
In fact, we should be thankful to Lord God that we were brought to this situation wherein we came face to face with each other. Because I think we had started forgetting who all are there as a part of our lives. And that connect which was required was missing. And it was because of, that is one of the reasons why this balance at the level of the mind was going off. Because channelization of our energies, channelization of our thought processes, that small handlings by the parents. Because see, until and unless we parents and we teachers and we elders start connecting with our kids, we would never be able to help them build up that scenario of balance, which was going missing because of the fast track life that we were leading. And I think COVID has slowed down everything. And we have come face to face with each other. And now we've started listening to each other, which is very important.
Absolutely.
And besides this, we had started compromising in our lives on so many things. We had started compromising on ecology. We had started compromising on almost everything which was there around us. And that is what started creating this problem. And today what we've done is, as a result of this COVID situation, we have stopped. We step back and we think. When was the last time when we sat with our family in the balcony or maybe on the rooftop and were able to see the sky, that clear sky with stars shining. I think we had forgotten looking at the stars. And maybe our parents giving us stories, grandparents giving us stories of the different stars, of the different constellations. It was all in the books, or maybe at the virtual level in a next classroom, or maybe in a smart classroom. Other than this,
Absolutely.
reality was lost.
Absolutely. And this gave us a new leash and a new way of looking at life. And I
Absolutely.
think there would be some very interesting questions from Nishtha to you on this. Nishtha.
Ma'am, moving further, would like to ask my first question and like keenly waiting to ask it. What kind of balance is required in a student's life and why it is important?
You know, student is basically when we are in our childhood or when we are in the days of our student life, that is the foundation which is being laid for the future. Because we are the future, the students are the future citizens. So that's the best time when we can give them the right kind of building blocks. Maybe as parents, maybe as teachers, maybe as elders, or maybe as a society. So that is the time, if we give them a balanced scenario, that is by giving them an environment, by giving them all those things which are required or a prerequisite for a balanced personality. And the most important ones are connect with their culture, with their roots. They come through stories. They come through different expressions which we take up as adults in our lives. If we wish our children to change, if we wish to inculcate certain values, certain systems in our children, we first need to be role models for them. So this is the time when we have to stop back and try all those on us, lead them by example, because children learn the best by observation.
Ma'am, how does the school help in balancing at a level of body?
See, at the level of body, first of all, we should always remember that it is always, as students, you must have been a student. Most of the people who are listening, or maybe our parents, must remember their days of student life, wherein our connect is best with our teachers. We look up to our teachers. Our culture has been such, wherein if a teacher says something that is good, that is important, we start taking our parents for granted. So hence, when the teacher who is a part of the school guides us or basically takes us through maybe a PT period, maybe an aerobics period, maybe through different activities. And other than this, at home nowadays, the most sad thing is that our families have started shrinking. As a result, children have started becoming individualistic. School is one place where they learn to share, where they learn to mingle, and where they are their natural self without anybody poking, pointing, other than maybe the teachers sometimes. Otherwise, they can jump around. They can be as active as they wish. You need to have water, you travel, you move. You need to go to the restroom, you move. You are moving from one class to another. You are running from one activity period to another. You go to the library. In our school, we call the library period the deer period. Deer is drop everything and run because the books are calling you. So children almost, if supposing they have a maths period, they would request the teacher to stop there and then, even if the sum is half done, because it is their library period. Similar is the case with the PT period. Because you know your PT teacher is going to take you through the exercises, through your mass PT, through everything. And how much ever you come up with an excuse, you come up with an application from your parents saying that I am allergic to sun, I am this, I am that. You would have somebody or the other counseling you, and then the temptation of your friends jumping around. You would also love to do it. Hence, school really helps with that. Like in my school, what we do is during the recess, wherein number one, we insist that everybody brings lunch. And if supposing they are taking lunch from the canteen, the menu is properly prepared by a dietitian, wherein the greens, the carbohydrates and the salads and everything is in a balanced way. And they are alternately getting almost everything in their meal. And if they are bringing their tiffin box, the teacher is always there in the classroom. Even during the recess, she sits and has her lunch with the children. And she peeps through their lunch boxes. She points out, why are you carrying this? Why did you not bring this? Finish your lunch. Don't throw it in the dustbin. Why did you not finish your lunch? So when you have somebody caring, somebody attending, your body is automatically attended to. So that's how it balances.
Reminded me of my school time. Just went into my life and caught me some glimpse of that. So moving forward, would like to ask, like, is balance related to only children, or it is related to parents, teachers, youth?
Balance is related to almost everybody because it is basically a trickle down effect. It comes from our elders, it came to us, from us, it goes to the juniors, that is the next generation, and from them to the next generation. So, in the school hierarchy, it comes from the grandparents to the parents, from the parents to the children, from children to the children, from us also as teachers, and then to the junior students. It is basically a trickle down effect. So hence balance is important almost at every stage of life. You know, there are changes going on at all levels in each one of us. Either we are growing, if we are growing old, there are different kinds of fears that we have. If we are growing in our work life, there are different kinds of fears, different kind of anxieties which we are faced with. Then there are changes in the body which are going on. There are changes in our food patterns which go on as we change our life. When you were a student, your food patterns were different. When you grew up, started partying, your food patterns changed. Then when you get married, your food pattern changes. So your body and mind both are continuously changing. So when there is this change going on, you continuously need to work on the balance aspect also. Because if your body is not balanced, it would be diseased. By diseased, I do not mean that you would have a proper major illness. It would not be at ease. And if the body is at dis-ease, your mind is also at dis-ease. Because a healthy mind is always in a healthy body. Because what happens is that the different bodily systems work in order, or when the mind is not at ease, what happens is it affects the different organs. It affects the bodily systems. It affects the secretion and the working of the different hormones in our body. And as a result, it gives different uneasinesses. It gives different problems. It gives rise to certain behavioral issues. So if there is a balance, you are able to balance your anger, you are able to balance your relationships, you are able to balance your connect with your environment, with your family, with your friends, and you are more or less at peace. It's basically an evolutionary process. So hence, balance is a must for each and every stage of our life.
I'll have to jump in here, and with a very different kind of a question. So yes, this situation helped a lot of people, in families stick near with them, closer to them in a house, stay confined, get to know them better. Now, having said that, there is another point of view of the situation when you'll have to tackle a lot of relationship things amid your crisis of work, amid pressure, and amid now work from home with a lot of calls after calls. Mind is always distracted between family, personal thing, and balancing the work life. What advice would you suggest for parents, I would say, who have to dabble multiple aspects at this stage, as their profession, in their personal life, as parents? How should they bring that elusive balance and much needed balance in their lives?
The best way of bringing about that balance is the concept of gratitude. I read somewhere the moment this COVID situation came, and there have been lots of wise people in the past also giving an advice that whenever a situation of this sort comes in, and whatever situation you've been put in, start counting your blessings. We were asked to stay at home. Thank you, God, I have a home. We were asked to stay at home inside and eat not junk, not from the market, hygienic food. Thank God that I have food. Thank God that I have a mother who can cook that food for me. Thank God that I have relations, I'm not alone at home. Thank God that I can exchange views with them. Thank God for this body that I've been given. More or less, most of us have a complete body. We can see, we can hear, we can talk, we can express, we can think. So why not count those blessings? Why not be positive about it? Because see, the flip side is always there. The two sides of a coin always go together. Of course, it is making a dent in our resources, in our income. There are certain things which, of course, but it's again with everybody. It's not just with me alone. So we are all sailing in a very similar kind of a boat. So why not find pleasure in it? Whatever little time that we've been given, few months, maybe till the end of this year. So let's make use of it. Let's do all that which we could not otherwise. I am personally very fond of reading, which because of my job pressure, because of the work schedule, and because of the fast, hurried life that I was leading, I was never able to do. Now I've been able to do it. I've been able to connect better with my students. Every day I get a chance to counsel so many people. My teachers call me, my students call me, my friends call me. So that again, wherein in normal life, I never had time for all that. Then be grateful, be affirmative, be positive, and the most important thing is bring a change in your attitude. Till date, our attitude was, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? या मेरे अकेले के करने से क्या होगा? But नहीं, फर्क पड़ता है. Normally, अपने घर में we always switch off the lights when we move out of a room. In our office, we might not do that. But nahi. It is not for the money that I'm doing it, not for the electricity bill that I do it. I do it for my nation. I do it for my earth. There are so many small such things which can be practiced at home. So many of us have started becoming creative. Those hobbies, those small things. So many of my teachers have made so many new things which they never knew that they were so creative or they could have done that. So those things, it has helped at that level. So the keynote is that we learn to be affirmative, we learn to be positive, and we learn to be grateful, thankful to Almighty. Because the lamp of thankfulness never vanishes, is never turned off. I read a story a few days back. There was an old lady who was very poor and did not have, always wanted to go to the temple and pay her homage to Lord and be thankful to him. She had a loving husband, she had a loving family, though she did not always have meals on her plate. Generally 1 or 2 meals only. But she never had money to buy a lamp and light a lamp. So one day she, at the age of 86, she worked hard somewhere, earned a little money, was hardly able to buy a small lamp and a little oil. She went and lit a lamp at the altar of the god. In the morning when the priest or the monk came, he saw that all the lamps were off, but only one lamp was burning. So he tried putting it off by pouring water on it and whatever, he blew it, but it did not turn off. The head priest came and said, you would never be able to turn it off because it is a lamp of gratitude. So let's light our lamps of gratitude inside each one of us. The Lord loves us.
In fact, I must say it is the need of an hour to put our gratitude.
Yes, we need to learn to be thankful for everything.
So before ending the session, I would really want you to go back in your childhood and give us a glimpse of what your childhood have been and what were the best memories you had.
My childhood was blissful, and I belong to a family of defense people, and my father was a naval officer, and I studied in 14 schools during my childhood, from one coastal area to another, trying to grab in different languages, different cultures, and had a very firm set of parents. Once upon a time, I always used to say that I had the strictest parents around. But today I say that I had a firm set of parents. And whatever I am, I'm more than thankful to them. If I'm able to speak, if I'm able to express myself, if I have the qualifications behind me, all thanks to my parents. And all thanks to the environment that I had. And it was always full of all kinds of activities. Let it be at the physical level or let it be at the mental level. Had a good set of teachers, had a good set of connect with almost all of our teachers. So almost all memories are blissful memories.
It was really nice who heard about your childhood, and it is always said like you are the one having people of 5 around you. So it's always uh, the person who is having a good amount of people among them. They are always succeeded and always enlightened in their lives. So would like to thank all the audience who have been watching us on Facebook Live and going through the recording after the session. Thank you, Dr. Namita, for being part of Kids Live.
Thank you so much. It was entirely my pleasure. Thank you, Shishir.
Thank you very much for joining in and sharing your views. And I'm sure a lot of people will try to review themselves and introspect themselves and try to bring that elusive balance. And I think sometimes you just need little nudges here and there. And coming from you as a principal.
Exactly, exactly. You know, the mantra of life has to be forgive, forget, and let go.
Absolutely.
Life will be blissful.
In such a simple way, you have put forward blissful learning. And I hope it helps to a lot of our people. Thank you for joining us on Kids Live Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
These testing times and the COVID-19 situation has created a vacuum and forced us to face times we had never dreamt of. Engaging students has become quite an effort who are forced to stay inside their homes 24/7. This Kids Live initiative, like many others, may help to keep your child engaged and updated. If you want to acknowledge more topics, you may write to us on our Facebook page or on our website, kidspreneur.com, and feel free to put any suggestions. Thank you everyone for being part of Kids Live Show, and thank you very much Dr. Amita and Shishir once again for joining the show.